Alright, so in this question, we start off with L'Italia here producing C and Trombonia producing at B. So the first thing you want to do is add up. So if we look at the world production, so we have both L'Italia and Trombonia, and then we look at the amount of pork and the amount of beans. From L'Italia, we have 2 beans, or 2 pork, sorry, here, and then 6 pork coming from Trombonia. So we have 8. So that's at 8, and then we get 6 beans from Trombonia and 10 beans from L'Italia. So that's 10 beans. Now this is without trade or specialization. So once we introduce trade and specialization, we need to figure out which country should produce pork and which one should produce beans. In other words, where do they specialize? So what you want to find is their opportunity cost. And one of the ways to do this, remember, opportunity cost is loss over gain. So if we're moving from A to B, or B to C, or C to D, or D to E, here it's moving along the right. So let's say we just go from C to D. We go from 2 pork to 1 pork. So we know that we're going to lose 1 pork. And then we see that we gain 5 beans. So here we get a ratio of, for every 5 beans is the equivalent of 1 pork. So when you break it down so that one of these ratios is going to just be 1, that's the ratio you want to get down to for, or you can think of it as a common denominator. So then when we look at Trombonia, here we say we go to C to D, we see that we lose 2 pork and we're going to gain 6 beans. So here, for every 6 beans, we have to give up 2 pork. Remember, we want to get down to that common denominator, so for every 1 pork. So if 2 divided by 6 just gives us 1/3. So really, we can say for every 3 beans, we have to give up 1 pork. And now, all you have to do is just look and see which one, for every 1 pork, which one has to give up, or has a high opportunity cost, for beans. And we see that L'Italia is more efficient at making beans. 5 is greater than 3. So we say that in specialization, L'Italia is going to be making beans, and Trombonia will then make the other, so pork. So now that they specialize, if L'Italia only makes beans, then they're going to produce here at E as many beans as possible, and they're going to make 20 beans. And then Trombonia, only making pork, is going to produce here at A, because this gives them the most pork at 8. So now after specialization, then they trade with each other, and we can look at the world amount of pork, and we just look at Trombonia's because they're the only ones making pork. We still have 8 pork being made, and then we look at L'Italia's because they're the only ones making beans, and they're making 20. And I apologize, because here this should have been 16 beans at the beginning. So we can see after specialization and trade here in the green, overall in the world we're going to gain 4 more beans than what we had before when they weren't trading. So if you still have any questions about that, just shoot me an email, and we can either meet in my office or I'll make another video for you.